Hello, everybody, and welcome to Through the Mist, episode 6. I know we missed a week last week, so let's do a quick recap and talk about what happened. Essentially, you guys had found yourself in this strange house, whereas before you had been in the carnival, the Witchlight Carnival. There were some strange happenings, a mist arose, and you awoke here to find yourself kind of surrounded. Well, I guess the only one that was outside was Lilith. So Lilith saw that you were outside this house that's surrounded by kind of sickly looking pine trees. The rest of you woke inside. You all managed to come together on the second floor of the house after Lyra was drug up the chimney by apparently a sheet that decided to take her
Beginning
up
of
there.
Lyra's Joker arc.
Right. This was maybe a new innovation in elevators. Who knows? But as you had kind of walked around and explored, you'd realize that something wasn't quite right with the house. There's definitely some oddities. I mean, the sheet was probably not an elevator, for example. And at the end of last game, Lyra had kind of gone into a trance, kind of a dissociation, and Lyra, you had seen this stag head that you knew was hanging on the wall. All of a sudden, you heard like a thump on the ground and this like slurping sound as it like seemed to drag itself, and then it like slid across the floor and landed near you, and then slowly began to like look at you and rise into the air. Everyone else noticed a large elk stag walk around the corner, but it was like ethereal, kind of glowing slightly with a faint blue light. It's kind of dripping with some weird essence as it hits the ground, kind of evaporates. And I think at that point I said we were going to roll initiative at the beginning of this game. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you click on your token in Roll20 before you click the initiative button.
Remind me, Lyra can't see everybody else. Like they can see her.
That is
but she can't
correct.
see them.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Initiative.
That's so weird. There it is.
Lyra's
Awesome.
doing so great. Oh.
Lilith and Dizzy, who wants to go first?
I'm okay not, but I'm also okay going. How do you feel about it, Dizzy?
I am fine with whatever. I
All
don't
right.
really have a preference.
All right, we'll leave it in the way the turn order is. So Lilith is going first. So Lilith, you see this glowing stag, and Lyra's just kind of like staring at it. Currently, it's just standing there. It like kind of stomps a hoof, and there is a sound, but it's almost like the sound is deadened instead of having like a kind of an open room, because you're like standing currently in that hallway, but like there's the hallway that would echo, and there's like the open room that looks down into the foyer downstairs. It just like goes clump, but doesn't sound like it's there, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to continue my Twilight Sanctuary.
Perfect.
So that gives a little bit of temporary hit points to everybody.
Okay.
I'm also... Did I set aside my own head that I was carrying around?
You were carrying that like really large rack of antlers from the elk and the skull, as opposed to the deer heads that were... I apologize, I actually need to rewind that. Lyra is seeing the deer head, and you all see the... No, I think I said that right. You're all seeing the elk ghost.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take my rack of horns.
Okay.
Kind of hold them up, reach in my satchel, and get some rations and hold it out to this weird undead creepy ass thing.
Gotcha.
And that's what I'm gonna start with.
Go ahead and make a perception check while you do that.
Damn.
Perfect. Nice. I like it.
Uh,
All right. So you're like
uh,
rooting around in there, and you find some rations and you hold them out, and it kind of does glance away from Lyra and look at you, and it stamps its foot again, and there is that sound that doesn't seem to really carry. Do you want to stay where you are?
That's such a good question.
No, I want to go home.
Um, I, I'm torn. Like I want to start immediately pummeling. So it doesn't, it just looks at me. It doesn't make any indication like lip smacking or anything. That's it.
Yeah, it just kind of looks at you. A little bit of
Looks at
goop drops off of it and disappears.
Ew.
But it doesn't
Ew.
like get irritated that you're holding out rations towards it.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm gonna step toward it with my rations
Okay.
and try and actually get it to the mouth
Okay.
of this weird thing and say, "It's okay, buddy. This house is creepy. I get it."
Okay. Nice. So as Lilith steps forward and does that, Dizzy, what would you like to do?
I am gonna back away slowly.
Sometimes I feel like Dizzy's the only smart one in this group.
It's true.
He definitely has a higher survival instinct than maybe some of
Yes.
the others.
Maybe that would have been better wording. Dizzy definitely has higher survival instinct than most of them.
So you back away. Do you do anything else? Do you want to dodge or hold an action?
I mean, I will hold an action, yeah.
Okay. What kind of action do you want to hold?
I suppose, can I hold vicious mockery just in
Mm.
case, something
You can.
happens?
So if,
Alright.
if like the elk or maybe something, if something attacks your friends, do you want to use vicious mockery on it?
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Perfect. Okay. So that brings us to Twiggy.
I've seen this before. All you got to do is do the thing that you do with the Court of Stags, and I've got this. I've got this. I'm gonna get up in the air and begin performing a court ritual of greeting. Obviously dancing. Obviously bad singing, and of course the pantomiming of the antlers cannot be omitted. Yeah, I'm just gonna full on commit to that.
Gotcha.
Greet this thing.
I mean, because it is, kind of a dance and a greeting, why don't you go ahead and roll me a performance check?
I am really very good at that. In fact, I won best dancer in my class.
I feel like there's lots of jazz hands,
Oh my god.
lots of jazz hands.
Twiggy, you're a tiny dancer.
As
Hold
long
me
as those sheets
closer.
don't, as long as those sheets don't hold me closer, I'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
As Twiggy expresses welcome to the elk spirit via dance, Lilith, you do notice its like spectral eyes kind of turn towards Twiggy, and there's a little bit of like quiver in its soft, velvety, spectral muzzle. Lyra.
It enjoys it.
So this is not your turn, but this is what you see.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all of a sudden, like, it's hard to describe in words, but this like fountain of gook starts to spray out of the back of the neck of the severed head. But it doesn't like just go everywhere. It like sprays out, but then it seems to get caught and forms into, looks like the deer's body.
Oh,
Okay.
And it's just kind of like moving in this liquid, viscous kind of form, and it solidifies, and it's kind of it doesn't look furry necessarily, but maybe the shadow of fur and the shadow of its form. But you do notice that there's a gaping hole right where its heart would be, and that kind of is like oozing some goop out, and then it runs at you.
Oh, great.
What would you like to do?
no.
Fantastic. Oh, there are two things, Lyra. Honestly, Lyra would immediately dodge.
Okay.
Like she would just like, yeah,
Okay.
that's she would dodge to the side, and kind of like, is it running at her?
It
Like
does.
specifically?
Yeah, it does
Or-
appear to be like, in fact, as you dodge, you notice no one else is around you, so it's definitely targeting you.
Great, great. She's going to dodge and like kind of like I mean, there's not that much room in the hallway, right?
Right.
But so she's just kind of like quickly steps, but there's not too much space for her to go, right?
Right.
So she's gonna dodge, and as she's dodging, she's literally going to kind of like extend a bare hand, like one hand's on her hip by her daggers, and the other hand kind of in the air, and she's gonna kind of like put a hand out, like right towards where that gaping hole is,
Okay.
where its heart was.
Right.
And I mean, if she can dodge out of the way, great. If she can, she's bracing for impact.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of like dodge out of the way and you're reaching forward to like
Yeah, like
push through it. Is there anything? Do you want to like make an attack at it or?
It's not really an attack. It's
Okay.
more just like, if you're gonna come at me, I'm gonna shove my hand in your heart hole.
Gotcha. So yeah, as you do that, go ahead and roll a dex. Let's call it a save. Dex save to try and
Okay.
aim for it.
Oh my god.
Wow, the
As
dice
usual.
are not your friend today.
No,
so you-
the dice hate Lyra. Hate Lyra. It's nothing new.
Lyra was not meant to be an RPG character.
It's not.
So yeah, you gotta like put your hand up and like put your hand in the heart hole, and it rears up and just like brings its hooves down towards you. Meanwhile, everyone else sees, you're not really sure what's going on in Lilith and Twiggy, because are elks called stags too? No, they're hearts, aren't they?
I don't know.
Elk terminology. The large elk does start moving towards Twiggy, and like Lilith, you do notice its lips kind of like do that like munching off to the side and try to eat your
Oh,
food, but
it's a friend, not foe.
there's like a little bit of resistance on it. Like you can kind of feel it move around, but it doesn't really seem like it's able to eat it. And it begins to move towards Twiggy, it looks like. But then you realize Lyra is also in the way. And as it walks towards them, it disappears as it walks through Lyra. Like it reaches contact, and then it's just like, for lack of a better word, it's like watching a car drive into the garage. It just goes whoa and disappears as it walks into her. Her body kind of shudders for a moment
Oh, great.
and then falls over. And Lyra, you get knocked down and you like cover your face so you, like the hooves don't smack you and hurt
Break-
you in the
break
face and
her
everything.
face. Yeah.
And all of a sudden Lyra starts like thrashing around. Everyone can see it. She's trying to block something from attacking her. Lilith, what do you do?
but I don't see anything. Like now this being has disappeared
Correct.
and she's just thrashing like
Yep.
in the air.
Well, I mean, she's on the ground and kind of rolling around, and because she's
Yeah.
like fallen over at this
But
point.
just her by herself, no
Yep.
sheets or nothing covering her. She's just
Correct.
like having a seizure on the ground.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's like trying to protect her face, like there's something trying to like hit her, and she's like trying to
Okay.
block it.
I'm gonna reach out and pull her back, and because I'm so tall, I've got like a pretty good reach. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her behind me, just like yank her like a sack of flour.
Sure. So I won't even have you because she's like way smaller than you. You just
Oh, yeah.
grab her, move her around, and are you like looking for what's attacking her, or what's your?
Yes, I would like to try and suss out what's attacking her, if I can feel any pressure or anything around that general area. But I'm kind of swooping in low, grabbing a leg and just yanking her, and then kind of shoving her behind me.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh boy. I'm good at these.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm good at
Wow.
You manifested it.
Right? You do actually not notice anything, which you feel pretty confident there is nothing there.
these. Okay. Yep, I feel good about myself.
Okay. Dizzy,
I look in the mirror and I'm good enough and I'm smart enough.
right? And gosh darn it, people like you.
Yeah.
So Dizzy, what would you like to do?
So the deer just disappeared. Or
Yeah.
The stag.
Into Lyra.
Yeah, and it didn't
Into-
like, it didn't attack anyone. It just kind of walked. So
Right.
I didn't have you do your vicious mockery. If you would like to, if you feel like that would have set like the walking towards, if you feel like that would have set it off, I can go ahead and do a save, but it's up to you.
Oh, no. It didn't look like anything bad had happened, right?
Yeah, it just like walked towards Twiggy and Lyra and then disappeared. Watching it as it came towards you because you're behind them as opposed to kind of off to the side, little like Lilith
Mhm.
was. It was a little weird because it just like disappeared as it was walking towards you, but the rest of it was still walking, and then it all just kind of went away.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna look at everybody and just be like, what's going on here? Everything's just kind of weird.
Yeah. Twiggy, what do you want to do? Or does anyone want to say anything to that?
Lyra is like outwardly grumbling and like mumbling profanities under her breath, just FYI.
And you all hear it. She's definitely.
That's not how you do it. You do it like this. Left step, horns and turn. Lyra practiced this.
Feywild line dancing.
That's right.
Okay.
A little over it. Lilith is just kind of taking it in and looking at Twiggy and like, yeah, Twiggy knows what's up. We
Yeah.
should
Right?
we should follow suit because this is a unique situation.
And Lilith, as you're like looking around, you glance down at Lyra again, and as her eyes flash open, like you know what Lilith's eyes look like, Lyra. You know what Lyra's eyes look like, which look like what, Lyra?
They are like completely like almost like a frog's. Like they're completely black with like little swirls of like purple in them. She doesn't really have pupils.
Yeah.
Like they kind of encompass her entire vision. And they're usually pretty wide with like a little bit of like indigo purple-y type of tones in them. But yeah, they do cover like her entire eyeball.
And so Lilith, when they open, you see like a lot of gold and browns and such, as opposed to that like normal purplish at the very edges that you see, and like usually black, and then it just fades away and her eyes look around. Lyra, you're awake, and that thing is just gone. It didn't, like, you felt like it was hitting you, but it didn't hurt. Nothing like injured you. You know, nothing managed to like actually dig into your skin. It never like harmed you, but it's gone now.
Is Lilith still holding her?
She is.
I was gonna look right at Lilith and go, "Put me the fuck down." I just
I'm gonna drop her with a little bit of a thud.
like you're welcome.
Like actually lift her up a little bit more and then let go.
Yeah,
or...
just a hair, just a little, and then a nod, like, yeah, I feel satisfied with my action. I'm cool with that.
Lyra's blinking around because, to my knowledge, Lyra didn't see Lilith until she was awake, right? So
That is
this
correct.
unknown thing was just holding her, right? Lyra kind of stands up and she brushes herself off, and she's like, she's like, "What the hell just happened? Where did you go?"
I'm just gonna look at her and shrug and look over at Twiggy.
Then the left. All right. And then we to the right.
Twiggy
Okay.
is entertaining me.
That's right. Rabbit hop, stag head.
Nice.
You all disappeared.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I've been here the whole time, so
Lyra, it's hard to tell like when she goes wide-eyed because her eyes are usually really dark, right? But she's just like, she's like, there was you were gone, and weird spectral stag, elk, deer, whatever, just ahead. And she's like at a loss for words because she's like, she feels like she's being gaslighted, right? She's like, am I crazy? Right? Like I'm crazy.
Lilith is just gonna put her hand out and just say, "No, you're not crazy. The stag was nice. I'm pretty certain the stag might have taken over your body for a moment. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. But it's gone now.
It tried
I think
to
you blacked
trample
out.
me.
You blacked out a little bit. Listen to Twiggy right now."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna fall into like disgruntled silence. Like, fine, whatever.
So as they're all talking, Dizzy, you're standing there looking around, and the house is, falling quiet. There's no spectral stags or elks or anything. Is there anything you would like to do?
I think I will cast the dancing lights again.
Okay. Add a little brilliance to where you're standing.
Like, are they disco lights now?
Actually, what I should do is get a token for your lights, because that would help. Let's see. So you cast lights. What does everyone want to do?
Well, we should try and figure out how to get out of here or find cool things in this house, because obviously the portraits and the heads and God knows what else is involved in this place. So, disco lights.
Disco lights. Twiggy, I'm going to make you able to move that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have it emit some color here momentarily, or emit an aura, just so. They do 15 and 15, is that right? Or is it 20 and 20?
Good question.
200.
Yeah, I guess it's 20.
20. Okay. Emits light for 20 feet. And we can always change that later.
Really
It
intrigued.
says 10-foot radius.
Oh, 10 feet. Huh.
Okay.
Well, then fine. All right. What do you all want to do?
I'm intrigued by the pictures and the stags' heads. So, or just the heads on the wall. I propose that we pick all the pictures that we can find and set them all in one room, all facing each other,
Okay.
and just see what we can see.
You know you saw some downstairs as well. There are several in these hallways. And there's a lot of rooms you haven't gone into, so
Yeah, I'm good with just starting with say this room right here just to see what's in there.
sure. Let me make sure that room is open. It is. It looks like kind of like the other room that's across the hallway, just kind of like a small bedroom. Um, there is a image on the southern wall, right here.
What is the image of?
So that one looks like a seafaring landscape. Kind of, there's like a boat in the far distance, and maybe there's like some seagulls or something flying in the sky. Something there. It's really nondescript. Like it's not very. It's more impressionist than it is detailed and realistic. So there's
Sure.
something flying through the sky.
I'm gonna pick it up
'Kay.
and take it on out to show everybody
Okay.
and warn Twiggy, like when I reveal it, I'm like, this is just a painting. I don't know.
Objects and paintings are closer than they appear.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's true.
And I'm gonna set it by the weird lady that that had changed in her painting.
Oh, the one that Dizzy slashed
I
out.
wanna
Yeah.
I want to set them side by side,
Okay.
except like I still like Dizzy was the only one that saw the
Right.
change. No one else did. But it was water related.
Okay. So just keep track of where you're setting them. So there's now these two are sitting there. Where would you like to go?
Let's go across to this room because I can't recall if we've been in there before.
You had.
Let's take the picture out of that one too.
Pretty sure that one was also a landscape, or it was a image of like hunting. They were hunting. I don't think that was the fox one.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
we're in that as well. We're sticking it in the way.
And when I say hunting scenes, it's like a lot. It's like they're riding horses and like hunting after something, as opposed to the I'm standing with my trophy, different kind of scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lilith is definitely on a mission. What's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna keep my eye on the paintings,
Okay.
just because the one with the drowning Fae was pretty disturbing. So
Okay. Actually, what I should do to make your lives easier, let's do a little text here. I'm gonna move us over so everyone can see our wonderful battle map. Let's clear that. Get rid of that. And while I'm doing this, Twiggy, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think. We've not been in all of these rooms. We're just now starting to open the doors, right?
That is correct.
Well, I mean, I'm going to rummage around, see if I can find anything interesting. And also, where is the kitchen? It's probably upstairs. That's where people keep their kitchens. So
Totally.
they totally have a kitchen here. I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, someone lives here, and there's got to be a cook. So I'm gonna follow along with our cleric and
Okay.
keep an eye out for anything interesting and cool. oddities.
Oddities. All
Yeah.
right. Lyra, what are you doing?
Lyra, upon seeing what Lilith is doing, both of these, that one and that one, were hunting ones, right?
They are like the trophy ones.
Right, yeah, sorry, the trophy ones,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this one was the young man with...
Can we possibly make the text white?
You know, I was trying to do that, and for some reason, it's being a poop.
Okay, I mean, you can kind of see it. It's just a little difficult.
Why is it? Why? Why is it doing that?
Means I gotta like look way in so the camera gets
There we
close
go.
up.
Yeah. There we go.
Text. Awesome.
Yay.
Ah,
Now that I know how, I have the power. So that one was the young man that didn't look like the other fellow, because remember there was like this
right,
guy,
there's this guy, and there's this guy.
handlebar, mustache
Right.
guy with elk.
Right. And then there's this guy,
Right.
which looks like an older version of this guy, right? Or this guy.
Older,
Doesn't he
not
look
jolder.
similar?
Ah, my fingers. Older handlebar with, I think he had a deer or a fox. Let's go with deer.
Right. Right.
And then
Okay.
this one, does anyone remember
Because
this
Lyra
top?
came out in this. Oh, sorry, this one? I thought this one was a landscape as well.
I think you're right. Let's go with a mountain range,
Okay.
not rage.
Rage.
So angry, those mountains.
They can be.
Okay.
Okay. So Lyra is going to see Lilith kind of, back and forth, gathering photos. And, Lilith probably dragged her this way a little bit, right? She's going to grab a handlebar mustache with elk.
Okay.
Actually, no. She's going to go around over here and grab older handlebar mustache with deer.
Do
and
me a
then
favor
bring
and
it
just make
over
a
there.
wisdom save for me.
Great. Sure. Sounds
Not,
great.
not for any reason. I just like to see
Oh,
how
no.
your dice are working.
great.
No reason. No reason.
Excellent.
Great. Wonderful.
So it's really weird because like you just want to help, right? And so you go around and you go to grab that image, and as you reach up, like your body just starts sweating, and it's not like a comfort, like it's not like sweating's really comfortable, but it's not like light or just a little bit. It's like all of a sudden you just start like
Drenched.
pouring sweat, and your hand is shaking and your knees are shaking a little bit, and you feel a little wired, like you're
on edge.
ready to like either kick somebody's ass or run away, whichever is going to be best for you to survive. There's nothing around, like you just can't seem to touch that painting.
All right. Lyra is going to stay where she is, which should be actually over here. And she's going to kind of call it like, "Oi!" Like, there's something wrong with this one.
Oi!
Yeah.
You can all hear it. So whoever wants to head that way or not, you can all just ignore Lyra.
Yeah, you can just do.
Well,
Yeah.
Lyra making noises, right? I'll head over.
Okay.
I want to head over.
And Twiggy, you're staying with Lyra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I did just realize that since there's not actually dynamic lighting on, the emitting light isn't going to help, so let's do a aura. Aura, go. Token aura, 10 feet. That color's great. There we go. There's your dancing lights.
Dancing lights.
And Dizzy, what are you doing while they head that direction? Are you going with them, or are you gonna continue
I'm
watching?
staying
those?
with the paintings.
Okay.
See if anything happens, like if they change or something.
Okay. Lilith, so you walk around the corner, and you notice that, like, Lyra's just, like, looking around, and this isn't really necessarily a strange thing when there's obviously a threat, or you're out in the, like, in the city or the open where there's, like, something that can obviously, something unseen that might get her or you or whatever. But, I mean, she's standing in a hallway. There's not really a lot around. She's just very, very skittish.
Okay, like, so I know that she's not acting normal. At
Lyra
least.
is not a skittish person.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely come up right next to her and tap her on the shoulder and give her kind of the inquisitive eye without saying anything, because she should know.
Yeah.
Very untrue to character. Lyra actually minorly flinches because like she feels crazy. Like she was dragged up a fireplace by a sentient sheet. She has seen these paintings. She has like thought everybody disappeared, but apparently they didn't. Possibly possessed by a spiritual elk.
Yep.
So now she like reaches for a painting that like apparently triggers her fight or flight response. She just
That's
like
fair.
flinches at Lilith's touch, like, and she's
The
like,
upside, Lilith, is she doesn't stab you. So.
That's awesome.
which is sometimes a possibility coming from Lyra.
Right.
She doesn't just instinctually stab you. She's gonna look at Lilith and just like blink away, like confusion or whatever, and be like,
Yeah,
lift that off the wall.
I'll lift it off the wall.
Okay. What do you do with it?
Oh my god.
I'm going to hustle down to the next painting and set it on the floor next to it while I lift the other one off the wall.
Okay. Yeah, and that one comes off the wall just fine too.
Great.
I'm gonna
Great.
backtrack a little bit because there's this room right next to us over here.
So I'm pretty sure that's where
That
you
has-
came from. Yep, that's where you
Okay.
came from.
I'm gonna take the painting from that one too.
Okay. This top painting was of a woman, kind of in her middle age. Human. I guess I should put the other woman look like she might be half elf. So let's do human, middle-aged.
You know, I did have a thought that if we left the paintings in the rooms, then that might give us a clue as to what, if the rooms have any kind of special anything. But you know what? Lilith is just picking paintings up and pulling them out.
Okay. And then this one was a. I think this was the fox hunting scene. So you're gonna take them all. Oh, there's another one. What shall this one be?
Child.
What's that?
A child.
A child. Excellent. This one is a child eating a pear. Because people put the weirdest art in their houses. Really?
Really. Especially,
Okay.
like, portraits. Like
Nothing
portraits are
creepier
weird.
than a child eating pear.
It's so creepy.
That's the evil picture.
Okay. So you're going to just grab everything and carry it over to...
Yeah, the hallway.
Okay. Twiggy, what are you doing while this is all going on?
Get everybody to like look at the pictures. Help me suss out what's happening.
So
Dizzy's
sus.
the one controlling the dancing lights, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I don't think that he would be able to, or they would be able to move the.
You can see when you're
lights.
within the purple aura. That's the one that Lilith is emanating.
Oh, okay, but that'd be like dim light,
Correct.
right?
That's
Okay.
dim light, correct? I guess I should ask before assuming. I
Let's
think
see
so.
here. You know, I don't want to poke my head in this other room over here. Really kind of wanna. Because there's a table there. Yeah, I can't see the table.
I just,
Man.
in my head, I see Twiggy like floating there. Dizzy's lights are in one end of the hallway. Lilith's light is in the other direction, and you're just like looking at the door, looking at the light, looking at the other light.
Sometimes very indecisive for a very decisive person. Dizzy, let's go check out this room. It's gotta be the kitchen.
I mean, I still don't think the kitchen will be on the second floor, but we can go in.
It's always on the second floor. That's obviously what mortals do. The better the kitchen, the higher the floor. That's how that works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that's not locked. That is not locked. And
Excellent.
Dizzy, are you going to bring your dancing lights with you?
I'll bring the lights, yeah.
Okay.
Because Twiggy can't see, right?
I
Without them.
can't see. No, you think it gets dark in the Feywild? Ha! No. There's always sun forever.
I think you can. Can you move those?
I cannot.
Maybe I picked the wrong.
I can move it. Whoop.
Oh, I've got you on the wrong thing. Do. Okay. Dizzy, now can you move those?
I can.
Awesome. Sorry, I had the wrong character selected. Okay, so as you open the door and the lights roll in, you do notice that there's like a little bit of light. It's not even dim light, but you can see that underneath what look like drapes are little bars of dim light as it tries to like wrap its way around and get into the room. You notice with the light that's coming off the dancing lights that there are wicker chairs and some small tables. It looks like on that table to the north, just out, like it's really dim light up there coming from the dancing lights. Looks like there's maybe a tea set sitting on the table.
Definitely means we're close to a kitchen. Tableware, kitchen. Sweet. You said that there was light being blocked by the curtains that were drawn closed?
Yeah, so each of these large white hanger thingies that are kind of hard to see on the map, they are drapes. But you can see that there's like light kind of trying to push its way through. But you remember seeing the light outside before, which was already kind of really overcast, right?
I mean, we'll have to let some light in.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's a fireplace down there, right? Down there at the bottom?
That is a fireplace.
I'm gonna start a fire.
Okay. As you head down that direction, you notice that there's a large embroidered pillow right here.
Embroidered with what?
It says news, News. My light just turned off over there. My house is also haunted.
Nudes, like,
Nudes, right?
NE.
It just says send nudes.
Send nudes.
Okay, I mean, I could use that for the fire, but I think that looks like more of a comfortable thing to lay on while eating whatever it is that they have in this kitchen, and point it out to Dizzy.
Okay.
And start a fire.
Doesn't appear to be any.
That's wise.
That's fine. It's probably fine. It's
Doesn't
light
appear that there's
and
any firewood here, but you do notice that there's some
wicker chairs.
there's some right. There's the wicker chairs. There's some books on a shelf here. Looks like there are some sheets of paper for writing. So you could definitely
Oh, yeah.
burn something.
Fire starter. Yeah, let's break down some chairs.
Okay.
At least one or two. I'm sure that yeah, books, they burn. Mm-hmm.
Yep, yep.
Dizzy, are you gonna help build the fire, or what's your plan?
I'm just gonna watch. I mean, I feel like we're like in somebody's house, and I don't want to vandalize it.
That's fair. Okay, so while Dizzy keeps an eye out and Twiggy breaks furniture, and it's kind of a slow process because I feel like Twiggy, you're kind of strong, but you're strong for a
For a small thing, yeah.
small thing.
Yeah. It's like ant strength. Ant.
Right.
Yeah.
Lyra and Lilith, what are you doing?
You know, I'm pulling all these pictures out, and there's another room over
There
here,
is.
so I'm gonna go into that room
Okay.
as well.
Let me
And I
see.
should probably investigate a little bit more than usual, just because I'd like to see what that whole room entails, as well as any pictures.
The one that you're entering?
Yeah.
Okay. It is unlocked, and as you open the door, you actually get like kind of hit in the face with this heavy smell of like mold and like humid air that's kind of accumulated. There is very faint light coming in from the two windows, one to the north and one to the east, and you notice a porcelain bathtub that's sitting right there, kind of in the corner next to the fireplace. There are wardrobes and dressing screens and a vanity with a cracked mirror.
I'd like to go investigate the bathtub.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make me an investigation check?
Let's see.
11. Awesome. So you're looking at the tub, and it looks like it's definitely got some kind of fungus, some kind of grossness growing out of the drain. It looks like there is a pipe running from the drain down into the floor, and maybe that's where this stench is coming from. And you also notice,
Gross.
just kind of like looking around, there's a lot of like mold and buildup in the room too, like on the walls. Almost like a humidity that's been kept in by the door being closed, is allowing this mold to grow. Lyra, what are you doing? Are you
What?
muted?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I thought I heard Adela speaking. That's why.
Oh, I didn't hear either of you speaking. I apologize. Lilith, what were you saying?
Oh, just gross.
Gross. Just gross.
Fair enough.
So, Lyra, do you follow her in, or are you staying? Where are you heading?
Lyra is going to go into, or I guess try to go into, getting a gist of what Lilith is going for, because she's been collecting paintings, right? She's still going to try to help Lilith if she can.
Yeah.
So she's going to try to enter this room here.
Do me a favor and click again.
This one? The one that
Okay.
she's like right in front of.
Gotcha. One moment. Let me just make sure that is unlocked. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right map. Okay.
I don't like the sound of that. Okay, Jeff.
Right?
That sounds like a preparation.
Like,
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So
now you die.
I apologize. I'm a little confused by this description. I think
Uh-oh.
maybe. Yep, looking at the wrong one.
Okay.
That explains much. That door is unlocked. As you open it and look in, it looks like there's a large study. There's the fireplace opposite of where you were drug up into the other room is right there.
Okay.
You do notice 3 large paintings.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's just like right in the doorway.
Okay. And you have dark vision, so
Yes.
there is a little bit of light streaming in from only 2 windows here.
Okay.
And there's another set of doors here. There is a large writing desk over here with a large, like a very plush leather chair sitting behind it. And then there's 2 smaller leather chairs sitting on the rug. The rug is very worn. It's that same kind of weird, dark, kind of blood wine color. And then there's just stacks and rows of books on this wall over here.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Lyra was initially here to help Lilith, but she has seen a wall of books, and now she's very curious.
Okay.
She got a little distracted by books. I will say, she does give a quick glance to the portraits on the wall, but she doesn't like examine them. Like more like she's looking to see like what they are, but not really like looking at them. If that makes sense.
You notice the middle one is that handlebar mustache fellow. It's just a portrait, just a 3/4 bust. It also kind of sends some chills up your spine, but you aren't like oozing sweat or anything. It is the kind of middle-aged version of him.
Okay. Okay.
The one on the right is the same middle-aged woman from the room where you were drug into earlier.
Okay.
Also in that 3/4 bust kind of portrait. And this one here looks like it's pretty obvious to tell. It looks like the child eating the pear and the younger fellow who was in the trophy stance with the deer, somewhere in between their ages. Let's
so like
call
looking
them
at it
teenagers.
briefly, it's like pretty easy to assume it's like a family type of, or like they're related. You know how like people hang like portraits in the house because they're all related. It's like very easily assumable. Like okay,
Yeah.
you're all related to each other type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't really care. I mean, she cares, but she doesn't, especially
Right.
when that like little like goes down her spine at handlebar dude.
Right.
And she's definitely like very interested in the books. So she's gonna go over to the bookcases and she's like scanning the shelves, seeing what kind of books there are, seeing if there's anything noticeable there. You know how like if you're browsing like an antique section in like a indie bookshop
Right.
type of, that's kind of what she's doing.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Nice.
Hey, look at that! Finally,
like-
the dice.
Right. So your interest just really peaks, and you're looking through, and you notice that there's many of the books are actually like ledgers of business that seems to have been done here without like taking them out and looking at them, but they look like business ledgers. But there's a lot of more historical value books like Tales of the Great Gnomish War and stuff like that, as opposed to there are a few fiction books, but for the most part a lot of the stuff seems like it's part of the business that was run out of the house.
Okay.
You do
Well-
also find
Yep.
there is what looks like some kind of like folder that has it looks like it had a leather tie holding it closed, but that tie has kind of rotted away over time and separated. It's like the only one stuffed into the bookshelf that's like it. And double check. Yep, that's everything that you notice on the bookshelf.
Okay. She's going to cautiously reach for that, right? Like she's gonna like slowly touch it, and if it like doesn't hurt her, she's going to like slowly pull it out.
Okay.
Like, but again, she's being very like cautious about it, given her experience in this God's forsaken house.
Right. It's a mimic. Everything's a mimic.
Everything's a mimic.
So you pull it out, and are you gonna open it?
No, she's gonna like see if there's any like notations on the front or the back first to like if there's any like label or anything like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
some people do like a tab label. Yeah.
It actually isn't. It doesn't appear to have any kind of identifier on it.
Okay. Is what's in it like is the stuff like stuffed in it like haphazardly, or is it like neatly like in a folder?
You
Like
kind of like feel it. Look, if there's anything in it, it feels like there's maybe a few pieces of paper. Like it's
okay, so
pretty
it's not
thin.
like stuffed full, it's thin. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, she'll open it.
Okay. So you like flick it open, and like a piece of that leather tie falls off, and it looks like there's a few pieces of paper inside. They are actually fairly well worn, like the envelope or can't think of the word right now, but yeah, it seemed like it kept them pretty well safe from time and elements.
Right.
It looks like they're legal documents, depending on how far you want to look into them to determine what they are.
Lyra is naturally a very curious person, so yeah, she's gonna peep at those.
Okay. It actually looks like a deed to the house.
Is there a name on it?
Yeah, so it says Ruins of Castle Levents.
Okay.
And it says prior owners are Lady Mara Silva, Dulk Dranzorg, Lord Corden Silva, and it says dates unknown.
Okay. Do any of these in her travels, right? Because she's a mercenary, she
Right.
gets hired for things a lot. Do they sound familiar to her?
Why don't you go ahead and make a history check?
Okay. Okay. Where's history? There we go.
Not at all.
terrible.
Even the name of the property, even the name of the property, you're just like, yeah,
Okay.
I have no idea where that is.
Okay. She's gonna take the folder with her because maybe somebody else out of her friends
Yeah.
like knows these people, you
Okay.
know. So yeah, so she's gonna take the folder with her, and then, you know, she's gonna peruse the rest of the room for any interesting, you know, while other people are doing their other stuff too.
Okay. So while that is going on, I feel like the two in this room over here, we'll call it the tea room. What are you doing there, Twiggy and Dizzy?
I'm gonna go check out the tea set
Okay.
and see if there's like signs of recent use or anything like that.
They're actually partially filled with dust. It looks like they have definitely not been used in quite some time.
Okay. Do they look valuable at all, or?
Make a... Wow, that's a good question. There needs to be like a how much is this worth kind of check. Why don't you do a history check for me? Appraisal, that's what it should be.
I think it should be like a history plus investigation type of like, you know.
Right. With the 19, I would say, you know, you get the feeling they're probably worth more than a typical tea set would be. They're very fine porcelain. But as far as like, they don't seem particularly magical or different otherwise.
Right. Is there anything else on the table, or is it just the tea set?
Just looks like the tea set.
All right. I guess I'll go over and move the blinds,
Okay.
or the curtains rather.
So Twiggy's like busting apart some furniture, and as you open it, there's an enormous eye looking at you. It's like right outside the window and kind of moving around.
I'm probably gonna, you know, make a startled sound and call
Sure.
Twiggy over.
Okay. Why don't you make me a con save?
All right.
I guess I shouldn't phrase it as a question. Make me a con save.
Make me a con save?
Right? So there's like this intense rush of like, oh my god, at first as you see it, and you call out to Twiggy, but you like manage your feelings pretty quickly and you aren't frightened by it. Twiggy, what do you do?
I'm gonna whirl around with bits of wicker furniture in my hands. What?
Do you not see what I see?
I mean, the sun probably will rise. Weather looks poor.
There's the giant eyeball.
Is there a giant eyeball there?
So Dizzy, it's either like as you say, it's a giant eyeball. You're glancing at Twiggy because you're just like, don't you see this? And you look back and there's nothing there. You can see the kind of deadish looking pine trees off in the across the yard outside.
They need to do something about that. Landscaping out there. They're not going to win any awards for their house this year.
Well, this is strange. Maybe this is what Lyra is dealing with.
I'm pretty sure Lyra is only dealing with not knowing the proper moves to greet the stag king.
Twiggy is lucky Lyra is not within hearing distance because he would find himself just like chokehold strangled, just like trapped like a butterfly in her hands. Like, you want to see that again?
One
Practice
day
makes
soon,
perfect.
you're gonna like I can't think of what it's called when they mount butterflies. You're gonna buy
Yeah.
one of those boxes and you just be like Twiggy.
A shadow box and just
Yeah.
put it for Twiggy. You're in timeout, Twiggy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Twiggy, you gotta go to the timeout box.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on. You just gotta learn the right moves. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know what moves the giant eyeball would want, but
Something about getting swifty.
Swifty.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And doing something on the floor.
That wasn't necessarily a big eyeball. I mean, they had two gigantic eyeballs. I guess that probably wouldn't be the right move for that.
I like what you got. Show me what you got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, probably the same moves. Beats me. It's not happened in court, so I don't know.
Okay. So while you're both dealing with the eye that has disappeared, Lilith, what are you doing?
Well, let's see here. I'm gonna take a picture from this room.
There are actually no images hung in this room.
No images. Damn. All right. Well, it's stinky. I'm gonna look out. I want to look out the windows.
Okay.
Just investigate a little bit more, a little more, with a little more thoroughness. Yeah. Is there anything to be seen out the windows? Can I see out the windows?
You can. They're that same kind of grimy, and there's actually some extra. There's like mold and grossness that's growing on the edges and kind of covering the center of the window lightly. So there's like a really dim light coming through, but you can look through and see like in between the patches of mold. You can see the trees off in the distance. Through both of them, there are yards of like completely dead grass and dirt on both sides. Otherwise, you don't really notice much.
With that weird tub, is there a faucet in this room as well?
It doesn't look like there's a faucet, no.
Okay.
You probably have to fill the tub via the old-fashioned way, bringing buckets of water.
Seems exhausting.
right?
I'd like to check out this other door right here.
Okay. Let me just
Is
double
it
check something real quick.
unlocked?
It is unlocked. As you open it, and with your twilight light pouring through, you do notice that there's a grand canopied bed that occupies that north wall. There's a fireplace just to your right, and a large, worn down, wine colored rug in the center of the room. Let's see. Sorry. You notice there's a wardrobe. As you head in, there's a wardrobe up in this corner, as well as a little sitting table and leather chair there. There's a couple of chests at the foot of the bed, and another chest there. And then there's a larger...
Everything's a mimic. Everything is a mimic.
Right. There's a larger wardrobe over in this area. As you walk in, you notice that mildew smell doesn't really go away, and you're not sure if it's following you in here, but there's also this chemical, almost like, if you're a cleric and you've been around like non-magical healing before, it's kind of like a medicinal smell, or ammonia or something, or some combination thereof.
Gross.
As you head closer in, you can see it a little better. There's a headboard to the bed that looks like it's engraved with the phases of the moon. And you notice that there's like a pretty noticeable indent in the bed on one side, like someone had been laying there much longer than someone used the other side of the bed.
This room is really intriguing, and the phases of the moon being a twilight, I'm a little moved by seeing the phases of the moon,
Yeah.
just because it speaks to me. Oh man, I think I want to put a pin in this room and gather everybody together.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check it out.
As you're looking around, what's your passive perception?
Here. So 10.
Okay. You hear some coughing. It's very faint. It sounds like maybe it's coming back from the way you came, or maybe this door over here, as though somebody distant is coughing.
Okay. I'm gonna head toward the coughing with full intention that I would like to come back to this room.
Okay.
It intrigues me.
You notice these two images are also on the wall, and as you walk out, you do hear the coughing again. It sounds closer, almost like it's in the room with you, but you don't hear, or sorry, you don't see anyone in there with you. Maybe Lyra's over here, and just the way that the sound carries.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in that.
Okay.
I'm not freaked out per se, but I'm
not scared.
Like I'm not scared, but maybe we all need to be checking this out together, not off by ourselves. I wanna go get Lyra.
Okay.
I wanna go find her and bring her back.
I'm just gonna put a couple of text things on here. You do notice that these two images look like, so you definitely had seen this image here of the human middle-aged woman. This image looks like a younger version of her, and this one is the youngest handlebar mustache. In fact, his mustache is pretty, it's pretty blatant who it is, but his mustache isn't even grown out that far yet. It's just kind of a slightly bushy, and it's kind of a dark black. He has a lot more hair. And then you come out of this door. Okay. I'm just going to move you there. And while she does the baby stuff, Lyra, what are you doing? Hello, baby.
It is.
Oh,
It's a baby.
hi, baby. It's our little board. He's our little board.
Level
Actually, no.
1.
Level
She's a
one.
fighter. Level 1 fighter. Yeah. Nice, tough, and strong. Lyra has turned from the bookshelves over to the desk.
Okay.
So she's over by the, plush chair, and she's kind of looking around, pulling on drawers to see if they're unlocked, but not like forcing them open yet, just to kind of see, she's investigating the desk, right? She's just seeing if there's anything interesting on or inside of the desk.
Okay.
I guess you could say.
So you start looking through, and the desk, you do notice that it has locked drawers. Although
All
you
of them are
pull the center one out, like you'd sit down and there's like that larger
Right.
center drawer. You pull that one open, and you actually find some more sheafs of paper. It's pretty obvious right away that they are wills, or it is a will.
Okay. Does the name on the will match the deed to the house that she has found?
It actually does not.
Oh, whose will is it then?
So it looks like it's the will of Lauren, Loren, as opposed to Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, it doesn't have his last. There it is, Halvrest, Halvrest.
Does she know this name?
You could go ahead and make a history check, and while you're rolling that, it looks like Lauren left the estate and any riches to his wife Theodora, their daughter Regan, and their son Vastian.
Okay. Well, she has no idea who these people are. I'm just kidding.
Nice. As you're looking through, it does say that Lauren died of tenacious deviltry of the of the leftmost lung.
Oh. Okay. Normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so she kind of like takes that, and honestly she puts it in that like folder
Sure.
with the deed, right? Because it's easy to carry that way. And then before she leaves, are these books as well over
They
on the far wall?
are. Did you want to unlock the locked drawers?
You know what? Yeah, she's gonna try.
Okay.
She's gonna try. She's a rogue. Like, it would be weird if she didn't. And honestly,
Yes.
she probably would try.
Just go ahead and make a lock picking check with your thieves' tools.
Oh goodness. Why can't I? That's advantage with proficiency, right?
With proficiency, yep.
Okay. For some reason, it's not gonna let me push this.
Okay.
Oh wait, maybe it did.
Maybe.
Oh no, it just said the tools. Yeah, no.
Why don't you do a sleight of hand check?
Okay. Because I think it would be the same, right?
Usually,
Roughly.
they usually are, unless you're not proficient in sleight of hand.
She is proficient in sleight of hand.
Okay, so yeah, it'd be the same check.
Okay.
Nice. The locks are really worn and old, and it's really easy to just click them all open. And inside, you do notice that there are some more objects. There's a long silver chain. It's like 4 feet long.
Oh. Is
it looks
thick
like
chain, thin chain?
It's a pretty thin chain. In fact, it looks like a necklace, the kind that you'd like weave around a couple of times, so it had like layers.
Okay. Yeah.
You also notice a rod, and it's kind of worked with some runes. You definitely get the feeling it's like, having seen wands before, you're pretty sure it's a wand of some kind. And there is a box. The box is kind of a darker stained wood. It's about maybe 5 inches tall, and let's call it maybe 11 to 12 inches long.
Okay.
It
Right.
also has a little lock on the side of it, but you notice laying under it is a key.
Okay. She's literally gonna take everything.
Okay.
Like everything is now hers. um, she is going to bag the wand.
Okay.
Because that might be better left for people who can read runes better. 'Cause
Gotcha.
she's not so great there. She is gonna take the key and see if it fits the little box.
It does.
Okay, she's gonna open it.
Okay. So inside is this weird device. Before you really start to investigate it, I need you to make a wisdom check or wisdom save at advantage.
At advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's hoping, guys.
This
Why
like
didn't that push?
maybe it'll take a sec like the other one did.
Well, it's a nat 20, so it's a 21.
Okay, nice. So there's like this moment, like this flush of adrenaline as you open it, because it reminds you very much of the long metal rod with the strange carving on the bottom, and for whatever reason that just really upsets you now. But this is much smaller. There's like a metal rod that has almost like an encasement of stained wood, not completely surrounding it. There's a section that's maybe a couple inches that sticks out of one end, and then part of the rod is encased in the wood, and then there's like a large, almost like grip at the end of it. And then there's like these strange little, they look like hammers or like some kind of device on that are at the back of the metal rod.
Okay.
And it looks like you could move those hammers. And then there are these really odd copper-colored tubes that are in with it. It's like they like line around the outside of this device. They're stuffed into like the velvet that holds the device, and there's 49 of those.
49. Okay.
49, yeah. And then it's kind of hard to tell anything else about them without taking them out.
Lyra's gonna. She's definitely like looking at it to see if she like knows what it is, but without like touching it,
Mm-hmm.
which she kind of like figures out that okay, I'm not really gonna be able to figure out too much without taking it out and maybe fiddling with it or
Right.
whatnot. So she's gonna close the box again. She's gonna lock it. She's gonna relock it, right?
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you know what? We opened it. I don't think it's gonna be helpful at this moment in time. We're gonna save this for later till we're back up with everybody. Maybe we can all examine things together. And before she leaves, she does just want to like take a glance at like this bookcase because it's separate than the rest, and that's kind of weird to her.
Uh-huh.
Like, why is it all the way over here?
You do notice that this one has a wide variety of fiction. Some of them are very fantastical. Some of them are more just kind of moral stories, but they're aged for younger than the other stuff, like the few fictions that you found on this side. It's almost like
Okay.
this bookshelf was for children ranging from like being a young child up through a teenager.
Okay. Is there anything like of note? Like, does she like notice anything purposeful about like is there anything weird that doesn't belong or?
Not really, but
You
you
know.
notice you've never heard of any of these stories.
Okay. That is a little weird because Lyra's a reader
Yeah.
and like has been since she was a kid, so that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But she's just like okay, and she kind of makes her way back out into like the hallway here.
Okay. All right. While that's all been happening, Dizzy and Twiggy, the eye is gone. You're trying to figure out what's going on. You do hear this. You hear a door open, and you've kind of like moved together. You notice that Lilith has come into the hallway over here. What are you doing?
I'm gonna back in Lilith into the room, and I'm gonna ask her if she sees anything or if I'm just going crazy. Because I know that I saw something. It wasn't my imagination. At least I don't think it was my imagination.
There's something fishy with this house. I think things seem to be more than they appear. And this
Yeah.
other room that I was, in, it's just kind of creepy. I think we should check everything out.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I thought Lyra was losing it, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
And Lilith, you don't see anything out the window, as far as like you can see the trees in the yard, but there's nothing weird.
A weird vibe from another room, so I'm inclined to believe that
Where
there's
is
there.
Lyra, by the way?
We should find her.
Yeah, I don't think she
I think
should
we
be
should find
wandering around by herself,
No.
given everything that's happened.
Yeah.
Well, she better not have found the kitchen and not tell us where it is. She's probably like rummaging through the cupboards right now. She's probably already found the lobster.
And Lyra, about this time, you're coming down this hallway. You're about right there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move Lilith over there since you've got a baby in your hands.
Bit.
I mean, you pay attention to us. So Lyra, what do you do?
Lyra just kind of rolls her eyes and takes a step towards the doorway and just goes, "I'm not some child. What'd you guys find?"
I found a giant eyeball that happened to disappear.
Oh, and I'm the crazy one.
I mean, I doubted you at first, but I don't doubt you anymore.
Apology accepted. Like even though Dizzy did not apologize, she's like, apology accepted.
I don't know what to do from here.
Oh, and I found a really weird room. I think we should check it out. There's 2 pictures, and there's a creepy bed. And I think that there's maybe sounds coming from there.
Sounds.
Yep.
Well, you think Twiggy wanted to relax in here. He's building a fire. He's got a nice little cushion over there.
And really, by this point, like building a fire, you can see that there's like bits of wood and there's some like smoldering paper. The fire hasn't really been super successful yet, but there's still time, Twiggy. There's still time.
Druidcraft. Yeah, magic. Yeah, so
Well-
did you find the kitchen?
No, but I did find some weird things. Maybe when we're sat down might be better. Dizzy, you said an eyeball? And then maybe
Yeah.
the room?
Outside the window, I opened the curtains. Maybe we should open all of the curtains in the room just to see if maybe the eyeball moved behind another curtain or something.
Things would be weirder.
So you're gonna open up all the curtains, let the light in?
I'm gonna go around the room and open up the curtains.
Okay. You don't find the eyeball, but a little bit of faint light does work its way through the muck and grime that is coating the windows. And out of all of the windows, you can see the forest out beyond.
So does the forest look familiar in any way, or is it just...
It looks like it did through the other windows, but other than that,
Okay.
not really. Like the trees are kind of sickly looking pines. The needles are a little blacker than green. You've never really
Right.
been to a place like this before, so it doesn't really look familiar now.
Okay, well, it's safe to say that people haven't been in this house for quite some time. Then I'm gonna like gesture over to the tea set.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not. Lilith, what is this weird room you found? And I know Adela is
There's
dealing
a
with
bed
baby.
in there that looks like it's been used. There's a really odd chair that I have a bad vibe about. I don't know. I put a pin in it. I didn't investigate it the way that I should have.
Well, maybe let's go check that out. And is Twiggy awake? I mean, Twiggy's like by the fire, but is he like dozing? Is he awake? Like,
He's hanging out, making a fire,
okay.
thinking
Because
about.
you know how like when a fire gets warm, you get like a little like cozy, you know?
Well, I mean, I can't sleep until I've had at least 3 lobsters, and we've kind of short of lobsters right now. So no one knows where the kitchen is.
No, we have not found the kitchen.
We haven't found the kitchen. He keeps going on about the kitchen. I don't really know what to do about that.
It's great. That's where all the good stuff is. I guess we should check out this room and then maybe go find the kitchen.
I feel like the lobsters, if there are any, would be spoiled. Since
Nonsense.
all right, well,
Nonsense.
I'm good to head out. There's nothing really of interest in this room.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Lyra is like, you know, willing to go wherever Lilith is. Like, there's this weird room.
Okay. So
I'll
I'm
follow.
gonna move Lilith unless you shake your head and say no. Okay, cool. So Lilith stretches out. It's really crazy.
Whoa.
Try this again.
Whoa!
Right? She leads you all this direction and into this room to the north. And as you head in, you do like there's like a kind of weird vibe to the room. It looks like a master bedroom, but everyone notices that the bed has the one side that's like a little more sunken in. There's the image of the younger woman and the younger man with the handlebar mustache, and there's a fireplace over on this side. What do you all do?
Do they notice the same smell that Lilith did, I guess?
Yeah, it's kind of antiseptic-y, a little bit of mildew. And did you leave the room, like this door over here to the bathing chamber? Is that open or closed? Open? Okay, it is open. And so there's actually kind of a strong mildewy, moldy scent. It's directional, like you can tell it's coming from this way.
So what's so weird about this room?
She says, well, it gave me creepy vibes, and that bed over there is weird.
Creepy vibes. Yes.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
the
Lyra-
furniture seems odd. Like, can I tell that the furniture just seems odd?
It looks worn for sure. Probably the weirdest thing is the bed, and the way it's like indented on the side.
Lyra, maybe you should lie down on the bed.
I don't
Lyra
think
literally
that's a
gives this
good
like
idea.
deadpan, like, are you shitting me? Type of look. Like, no, Lilith, why don't you lie down on the bed?
I'm gonna turn my head away and laugh privately. Just so Twiggy can see.
Well, I'm gonna go lay down in the bed. I'll flutter over there. Yeah. Neither of you want it. It's mine.
Twiggy, as you flutter over and land on it, there's definitely like this weird sensation that kind of comes over you, almost like when your eyes are closed but you know there's someone standing next to you, like you have a presence kind of nearby, and you hear
like someone needs a visit to the liquor cabinet. One glass of whiskey will totally clear that up. I picked that up at port. But I was drinking some port.
Did you get port at the port?
Yep, I did. It was great. Wow. Seems to be fine. It's a big bed. It's coughing bed.
I don't think beds typically cough.
It's possible. I mean, shrubs don't talk, but sometimes they do.
It's one
I
of those
mean, I
white
suppose
noise
you have a
things.
point.
It could be a white noise machine.
I'm sorry, I worked at a hospital. I can't fall asleep unless I hear the sounds of people choking to death. um, okay. Twiggy, make a perception
In the
check.
chair. I'm just gonna go sit in the chair.
Okay.
Proceeding.
This chair? Or this chair?
The one in the upper right.
Okay. And Twiggy's laying on the, not that one. That one.
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone else kind of standing where, like Lyra and Dizzy, are you where you? Okay.
Oh, I want to go check
Lyra?
out that desk at some point.
Okay.
And Lyra definitely is standing here, and I'm not gonna lie, she does give a little bit of a look towards the handlebar guy to see if she gets that same little like.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
it's a little gross. A little disturbing, makes your spine crawl a little bit. And Dizzy, as you're looking at the desk, sorry, let me double check. It looks like a writing desk. There are some crumbles of paper, almost like they're so time worn that they've just kind of like started to fall apart. And there's an inkwell, but other than that, you don't see anything. And while you're looking at that, and Lyra is looking at the pictures, and Lilith is kind of checking out the chair and sitting down. Twiggy, you notice that the concaved area next to you kind of fills in, and then it begins to move, and the sheet pushes back, and you see what looks like a very desiccated human face. There's remnants of a handlebar mustache kind of dripping off of his face, and he begins to cough, and there's like bits of powder that come with each cough, and little flecks of something liquidy stick to his lip, and he begins to reach for you. And we'll go ahead and call this, let's roll initiative.
Yeah.
Don't forget to click on your token.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Get him.
Oh my god, it's huge.
Oh, it is really big. That's so large. Oh no.
Right?
You're in bed with a hot piece. Woo.
I know, right? I mean, I suppose that would be kind of my perspective. You know, it's a big, large, scary thing.
All right. What? Nice. I like it.
I hate it.
I can't think of his name right now. Lauren.
Lord Handlebar.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking of. Like, Sir Handlebar.
Sir Handlebar.
All right. So even before you can react, even before like any words emit from your mouth, he reaches towards you.
Like in a sexy way?
I mean, it really depends on what.
You're into?
Yeah.
Right now, all I can think about is lobster. I mean, once this thing's out of the way.
So he tries to
It's-
grab for you, and you manage to like kind of flit out of the way. But does a 23 hit you?
I'm pretty certain
oh,
a 23 will hit me. Yeah,
Okay.
23.
So he just like, as you flit away, he swipes back across you and just like smashes you, and you like bounce off of the headboard.
Ow.
You're gonna take 6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And 9 necrotic.
Ooh.
Remember, everybody has 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points.
Nice.
I think
And
we went
then,
with
like-
4 for that one.
Yeah, it was
Right?
4.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
we
we
went with 4. Yeah.
decided.
So Lyra, you hear this like kind of, and then the sound of something small bouncing off of wood. What do you do?
How many hit points you
Oh.
said?
Oh, I'm sorry, Twiggy. What?
How many hit points?
You're gonna take 9. Let me find it again. Sorry, 9 necrotic and 6 bludgeoning. So 15 total if you have no reductions.
None at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Tweety got yeeted across the room. Is that correct?
No, so you glance back and he's actually kind of like fluttering there, a little not dazed, but like looks like he just got yeeted against the headboard essentially.
Okay. Okay.
And there is a somewhat familiar looking but horribly rotted and desiccated person next to him.
Okay.
looks a
And
lot
then
like
he has the handlebar mustache.
He does, or kind of like remnants thereof.
Okay. That familiar like chill down
Mm-hmm.
her spine type of, like vague panic sweat.
Yeah.
I'm assuming kind of like
Yeah.
hits Lyra. And but she sees Twiggy kind of get slammed by this thing, and she's just gonna take one of her daggers and just like nope, and like throw it at this thing.
Okay,
and just like
absolutely.
no. So roll to hit, I'm assuming.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. And now that's a dirty 20, so that's not a nat 20. So, and she gets sneak attack because Twiggy's
He
within
is.
melee. So we'll roll damage for the dagger. Oh, and it rolled the sneak attack as well. Perfect.
Nice. So it'd be
Um,
13 total, is that right?
Yep, 13 piercing.
Excellent.
And she just kind of like throws it, like literally right for like, I mean, obviously she doesn't have perfect aim, so it
Right.
probably hits somewhere else, but like she throws it towards its face.
Okay.
Like just like
So it,
somewhere
like,
close to its face.
Lands in its cheek, like you were trying to like aim for like its forehead or something, but it like sticks in
Yeah,
its
yeah, yeah.
cheek, and like a little bit of that like powder and glick kind of emanates out of it, Twiggy, almost like it's breathing and it's pushing it out of that hole that's there now.
Right.
Anything else, Lyra?
And then Lyra is going to she's gonna
Decisions,
I'm
decisions.
so torn. Yeah, it's very torn. She likes not being in melee range. Like she likes being like a little bit back,
Uh-huh.
right? So she doesn't really want to move. She's gonna use her eye for detail, which is she can use a bonus action to make a perception check
Okay.
to either spot a hidden creature or object, or make an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues.
Okay.
She wants to use it as an investigation check because like this guy's supposed to be dead.
Uh-huh.
She has the will and the deed and like all that stuff, like,
Yeah.
So mostly she's trying to investigate if he is animated. Like obviously he's animated by magic. She's
Right.
assuming I get like, of like, okay, how is this dude functioning? How is
Okay.
he animated?
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead and roll your check.
Yeah. Of like, no, you're supposed to be dead.
You go
It's
back
kinda
to
like-
being dead.
Yeah. Great.
So you don't see anything that reveals how he's being animated. Definitely, like, he's breathing, first of all, so you definitely notice that. But as far as whether he's alive or is some kind of undead, you're not totally sure. He doesn't look very healthy, though, so you're pretty sure he's some kind of undead.
Right. Yep. Great. Sounds great.
Okay. Twiggy.
Nobody eats me except for my friends. Ah. All right. We love rage. Rage is great. We mark rage.
Okay.
We roll rage die. Oop. It is a 3 is a intangible spirit, which looks like a flump for a pixie. Great.
Which one's it gonna be?
Flump it up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice. Okay. So at the end of the current turn, it explodes, and each creature within 5 feet makes a dex save.
Okay. I just want to click the square where it is.
Here. Here.
Okay.
Flump.
So
It's a
the
flump.
diagonal. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a
Flump.
thing down because it's going to explode, so...
Gonna explode, yeah. And I am also going to explode in his face with a give me an attack. Here we go. Javelin. Sorry, not javelin. Rapier.
Okay.
24 hits.
That'll hit.
Let's do. Yeah. Let's see, make sure I got this right.
Does that work in your rage damage?
I don't think it does.
Okay,
it's
so...
like 2, so 11 points.
Perfect.
Rage. And then a dex save. He gets to enjoy a little bit of splody. Let's see. 17.
17.
Is a save. 17 is a save.
Okay.
And that does what? Is it half?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Save or nothing. Okay. And then next turn I can do it again as a bonus. Okay, done.
Gotcha. So what did that look like? I don't know what all your stuff was there.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So Twiggy is, of course, thrown into a wild rage, and he's drawing in arcane energy. It looks like he's trying to cast a spell, but instead it's really just stabbing it in the face. And a flump appears for some reason, explodes. There's rainbow sparkles everywhere, glitter that will never leave this room, ever. Yeah, his eyes are like super wide. He's drooling. You can hear him muttering arcane incantations under his breath. It's not altogether like there. He looks like a crazed scientist, maybe.
Gotcha. And so the deck save that...
That is the flump exploding.
Okay, perfect.
Into glitter, like a gigantic, beautiful flump.
You do notice that as it continues breathing, though, some of that glitter like begins to emanate out as though like it was being pulled in through another hole in this thing's body and then breathed back out. Dizzy, what are you doing?
All right, I think I'm gonna move to the other side of it, like the other side, the opposite side of Twiggy.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to swing at it with my rapier.
Excellent. Critical.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. So you jam your rapier through like its head, and you kind of swish it around in there and pull it back out, and there's like powder, this like kind of gray green powder comes out with it, and a little bit of glitter, and you deal 13 damage. Nice. Anything else?
Oh no, that's
Okay.
it for me.
Gotcha. It's kind of hard to tell how this thing is doing because it's all already so rough and like desiccated and gross looking. But you definitely all have been doing a little bit of damage to it. So as that happens, Lilith, what are you doing?
I'm going to send a guiding bolt
Nice.
its way. Oops. I think I rolled damage, not the hit. Backwards.
Okay, so 15 to hit will hit, so it'll do 14 damage. Does that look right?
Yes.
I'll do yep. Okay, so 14 radiant.
Radiant damage.
Radiant damage.
So this bolt of light that you throw at it hits it, and it just like sears chunks of it off, and there's like jaw sticking through now, and there's just a little bit of this like kind of sickly spittle. Like it's not saliva colored, it's kind of blackish and green. It's oozing down its chin. One of its eyes is now melted away, and its eye socket is just like kind of burned and empty. What's that?
He's a looker.
He is a looker.
A real looker.
Anything else from you there, Lilith?
No.
Okay.
No.
And just remember that the next attack on it has advantage.
Ooh.
All right. So it just like looks around at all of you and it goes and this cloud just emanates from it and fills the room. I need all of you to make a con saving throw. And then I need to drink some water because that was rough. 14, 9, 3. The big numbers today.
We're doing great, guys.
Well, let's see here. I'm just making sure I don't have a con-based thing. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's just... Yes. Okay. It's been a little while since I played a barbarian. Yeah.
And 12. Okay, that means that Lilith and Twiggy made it. Lyra and Dizzy fail. So those of you who made it are going to take 7 poison damage.
Ooh.
If you failed, you're going to take 14 poison damage. And like as you kind of cough this stuff out, you notice, those of you who failed especially, like a little bit of that powder blows back out from your cough, almost like you breathed in a bunch and now you're trying to expel it. And that brings us to Lyra.
Lyra, she inhales and she's like, she's very much like,
Right.
She's like hacking up a lung, and it seems to have hurt her like a decent amount. Like it did not go well for her. And then she's going to take her movement first, and kind of step towards the end of the bed, right?
Okay.
Where this thing is.
I need you to make a wisdom save.
Great. Okay. Great.
You aren't able to move any closer. Like your foot tries
Great.
to. And
So
you
she's
just
gonna stay back here.
Yeah, you just like no, and that sweat builds up, and you're just like, nope, I can't do
Like
it.
everybody else can move closer, but Lyra.
Right.
Cool.
You are currently frightened.
Yeah,
can-
I figured that's what that was.
Yeah, you can redo your save at the end of or at the start of your next turn.
Okay. She has disadvantage on attacks when she's frightened, right? Does she?
As long as you can. Yeah.
I always forget like what gives you disadvantage. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Right.
what does what? Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Well, the source of fear is within line of sight.
Yep.
Okay. she does have another like normal dagger
Okay.
in her inventory. So she did throw her other one. So she has 3 daggers on her,
Right.
the like uncommon one and then 2 normal ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um Would she willingly throw the second one? Probably. Probably. She would. She would willingly throw the second one because she still has like her magical one on
Yeah.
her, right? So she's gonna throw the other one.
Okay.
She goes to take a step and she realizes that she's like frightened and panicked and she is pissed. Like it's very obvious that she's pissed,
Yeah.
that she's scared, right? Because she's not having it. Lyra hates magical fear, right? Like she blusters, right? She she tries. She's a very proud person.
Right.
So the fact that she is visibly, like, everybody probably saw her, if they even noticed her, like try to take a step and just like physically be unable to. And so she hates that. So out of frustration, she throws another one, like kind of like at its like shoulder part, like this region
Okay.
type of area.
So you're gonna make it a disadvantage,
Yep.
but throw away.
For whatever reason, the advantage and disadvantage doesn't push, so I'm just gonna roll twice.
Okay.
That's 1, and then 2. Oh, the disadvantage with the
Right.
nat 20. Yes. All right.
The good
Well,
news
does
is
the
you
14
hit. The bad news
Okay.
is it doesn't do the crit, but
Right, but
ahead
it
and-
does still hit.
right.
So that's the 9 total piercing.
Oh,
With
so
her
you don't get
sneak
your sneak attack when you roll it advantage or disadvantage,
Oh, right. Okay, so it's just 6.
but you do 6. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have
so
disadvantage on it.
Lyra's other dagger all of a sudden appears sticking out of this area of
Yeah,
the
somewhere around there. Maybe in a
Right.
bicep, maybe in a collarbone, who knows?
yeah.
Somewhere
do you
around
want to
there.
stay where you are, or do you want to move? You just
I
can't.
mean,
move
she can't
closer.
move towards it, so she'd
Right.
have to like pancake herself against the
Right.
portrait behind her, which also presumably frightens her.
I mean, there's this open door over here. You could move into that
I
room,
mean,
or
she could, but no, Lyra's not going to retreat.
okay,
She's she's literally stuck between a rock and a hard blade.
totally. All right, so Twiggy, this knife dagger appears, having been thrown by Lyra. What do you do?
Well, let's see here. This is a square. Yeah, that's a square. All right, so we're gonna flit this way,
'Kay.
Propelled by arcane power. And he utters out a string of spell commands, and flies into its face with his rapier as a pixie appears behind himself, or
Okay.
behind the creature. Where are you at? Where's the attack? Okay, attack, and then we go.
Is this the same kind of thing? He's going to do a deck save at the end?
Yep. Boop.
Okay. 21 will hit, do an 11, and
Plus
I think
2
he's...
is
oh,
plus
so
2 is
13, yeah.
13. Fail the dodge. That's going to be on the d6 of force. I mean glitter. Glitter damage. 2 points of glitter damage. Bam!
Excellent. So your rapier actually does more damage to it, but it's the 1-2 punch. You stab him, knocking him back into the exploding pixie, which like kind of knocks him more onto your rapier. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna plant my feet on his forehead with my rapier in his face and bellow out something about fireball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dizzy.
All right. I am going to do the same thing again,
Okay.
hoping to kill it or something.
It definitely doesn't look very good. There's a lot of this cloud coming out of it. That totally hits it. How does this happen? You
Yes.
take it out, so
I think I am going to Just do a quick strike through its head, and then when I pull it out, I just kind of, I guess, shake my blade off of any of the dust or goo it might have.
So you shake off the your rapier, and there's like a thin coating of that kind of saliva and goop, maybe a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of brain matter, but there's more of that kind of like dust that's crusted on it, and you shake that stuff off, and it falls, like it takes one last deep breath, but doesn't exhale it, and just falls over.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm just gonna kind of sit on the ground because I'm very injured and just
Okay.
kind of, like that took a lot out of me. So
Okay. So as everyone kind of calms down, and Lyra, your fear actually kind of fades away. You're still feeling jittery, like that image is still behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shaky.
but you don't feel like uh, you can't move forward. You feel like there's maybe a little bit of trepidation about moving forward and closer to this person's body, but you're no longer frightened by it, and everyone else is free to do what you will. What do you all do?
Gonna claim that.
I mean, are there any dresser drawers we should be going through?
There was this wardrobe over here, and then there's like a smaller. Used the wrong word earlier. This is like a dresser.
To go through, both of them.
Okay. And Twiggy, what were you saying?
I'm taking the guy's mustache.
Okay. It actually comes off really easily. You just kind of take the lip, just kind of tears off, and there's like the remnants of this once proud and full handlebar mustache.
It's mine now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's awesome.
And looking through Lilith, you find that really there's just like kind of moldering clothes, some I keep wanting to say napkins because my brain isn't working right. Handkerchiefs. There's like some handkerchiefs. They do have like a emblem on them. Can't remember what the emblem looks like. But you've kind of noticed it. It was actually on the tea set.
To take the tea set.
Okay. You can absolutely do that, but you do know that they are super fragile. So, how would you like to carry said tea set?
I'll rip up some of the bedding and kind of wrap
Okay.
the tea set in as much bedding without being obnoxious about it. I'll rip it.
Lyra feels like a proud mama as she sees Lilith kind of like wrap up the tea set.
Okay.
I'm gonna shove it in my satchel.
So as everyone's kind of, catching their breath and robbing the place, and the kind of gross powder and probably flesh, or like powdered flesh that he was exhuming upon you, it has settled and everything. You all just kind of look around and get a feeling for the situation that you're in. And that's where we're gonna actually wrap up this week's game. I wish I could throw a cliffhanger at you, but you just took out the cliffhanger.
Yeah, sometimes you need just the ending, like and everybody sits.
Yeah, everyone is.
We have a table in the other room.
Yeah, there's tables all over the place. In fact, there's a little bit of a fire going in that one room with the tea set. So, as Lilith goes to get that and pack it with the remnants of the comforter that was on the bed, and you can all sit by the fire and get warm. Does anyone have anything they want to announce, or anything coming up that they're doing?
I don't think so.
Okay. Dizzy, any upcoming streams or anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.